Like I told y'all, be careful on watching what Mary Kay Cabot has to say about Shedeur Sanders. Now she has done the unthinkable, writing articles about Shedeur Sanders and basically throwing him under the bus, saying he wouldn't fare any better than Dillon Gabriel.
Calling for Shedeur Sanders once again. But I really don't think that Shedeur Sanders would fare much better than Dillon Gabriel in this offense right now. But the one thing that I will say is that I think he has Dillon beat in the accuracy department down inside the red zone area. I think that he would be better at finding the open man inside the end zone and hitting him. But you've got to be able to get there first, and you have to have the time to throw that ball. In the event that he had those two things, I think he might fare a little bit better with his accuracy in those areas.
Lines get crossed, boundaries get blurred, and when a respected journalist crosses from critique to contradiction, the sports world notices. Right now, Mary Kay Cabot stands in the center of a storm she built with her own words. The Cleveland Browns are in chaos. The offense looks lifeless. The fan base is exhausted and angry. The building feels tight. The city wants answers, and it wants them now.
It's about Mary Kay Cabot. And this is true. Mary Kay Cabot, man, he's trying to play both sides of the field. And it's not going well with some of the Cleveland Brown fans, Shedeur Sanders supporters, and Mary Kay Cabot has been called out several times.
Dillon Gabriel is taking a lot of heat. He was only able to score 9 points in that 23-9 loss to the Steelers. Lots of fans and social media types.
Yet instead of questioning the coaching or a system that is clearly broken, she turned her focus to one man who has not been given a fair shot, Shedeur Sanders. She did not just question his readiness. She said he would not fare any better than Dillon Gabriel. Think about that. A quarterback who led the nation in completion percentage, a player praised across the country for his discipline and accuracy, lined up next to a rookie who cannot stretch the field on a team averaging 14 points. That is not analysis. That is disrespect dressed up as journalism. Like the video and subscribe right now. And if you love Shedeur, then comment SS 100%.
Shedeur Sanders would fare much better than Dillon Gabriel in this offense right now. And there are a lot of reasons for that. One of the reasons is that they're still having some offensive tackle issues. It's very, very difficult to run your offense when the tackles are not healthy or when there's a revolving door at that position. So that's one thing. And then the receivers are still struggling a little bit. There are some drop passes. There are a lot of young guys. Cedric Tillman is not back yet from his hamstring injury. Even some of the veterans, such as Dave Njoku and Jerry Jeudy, are dropping passes.
Let us start with what we know. The Browns' offense is broken. Not cracked, not struggling, broken. They are 1-5 and scoring just over 14 a game. The passing game is dead on arrival. Dillon Gabriel, the rookie Kevin Stefanski continues to defend, is throwing for 4.3 yards per attempt. That is not NFL football. That is backyard checkdowns and panic throws. And when he tries to go deep, it gets worse. Overthrows, missed reads, balls sailing out of bounds, receivers running into danger zones because the passes are high, late, and off target. That is what the tape shows.
Shedeur Sanders will be no better than Dillon Gabriel. She stated, chances are Shedeur Sanders wouldn't fare any better than Dillon Gabriel in this offense, Mary Kay Cabot.
But according to Mary Kay Cabot, Shedeur Sanders would not fare any better. She says the offense is too broken for any rookie to thrive. Let that sink in. A beat reporter who months ago praised Shedeur for elite arm strength and pinpoint accuracy at his Colorado Pro Day is now saying he could not function in an offense that is failing because of poor quarterback play. It is a classic media move. When the tide turns, they change tone to match the narrative of the moment. They cover both sides so they can never be wrong. Rewind it. Mary Kay was at that pro day in Boulder. She watched the throws. She watched the control and the placement and the calm. She even tweeted that Shedeur had elite arm talent. Those are her words. She praised how he could take speed off the ball, how every throw was catchable, how he could lead receivers open and not hang them out to dry. But when the Browns stumbled and the noise to start Shedeur grew louder, she flipped her stance. Suddenly, the same player she called elite became just another rookie who would fail under the same conditions.
The truth is, Sanders might not fare any better in this offense than his fellow rookie right now. Then she went on to say the Browns offense has so many problems, another inexperienced rookie stepping into the challenge unit probably wouldn't do any good.
That is the problem with so much of today's sports media. Too many voices play both sides of the fence. When things are good, they praise you. When things get rocky, they flip the script and protect their brand. Cabot is not just analyzing Shedeur's potential. She is shaping the narrative around his opportunity. Every time she plants doubt, she feeds the hesitation inside the building that keeps him on the sideline. She gives Stefanski and the front office the cover to say, see, even the media thinks he's not ready.
It's about Mary Kay Cabot. And this is true. Mary Kay Cabot, man, he's trying to play both sides of the field. And it's not going well with some of the Cleveland Brown fans, Shedeur Sanders supporters, and Mary Kay Cabot has been called out several times.
Anyone who has watched Shedeur Sanders knows better. He is not just ready, he's built for this moment. Go back to Colorado. Go back to that battered offensive line. Go back to those endless sacks and those late game drives. He did not just survive, he produced when it mattered. He led the FBS in completion percentage, even with bodies crashing into him every snap. He read coverages like a veteran. He delivered with timing and precision that coaches dream about. So tell me how a quarterback like that would not fare better in Cleveland's offense. The truth is, the offense is not the root problem, it's who is running it. Kevin Stefanski is still calling games like it's 2020. A conservative check-down system that suffocates creativity. The plan turns quarterbacks into robots who follow a checklist instead of attacking defenses. Then you pair that with a quarterback like Dillon Gabriel, who does not have the arm to threaten deep. You get exactly what the Browns have now. Short passes, stalled drives, wasted talent all over the field. Shedeur Sanders would change the picture fast. He brings more than arm strength. He brings rhythm and leadership and vision. He will stretch defenses vertically. He will force safeties to back up and respect the deep ball. That alone opens space underneath for Amari Cooper, for Elijah Moore, for David Njoku. That creates real conflict for defenses. Yet Mary Kay Cabot wants you to believe he would not make a difference. That is not just wrong, that is lazy. This is not about protecting Shedeur from criticism. Every quarterback should be judged. This is about fairness and consistency. You cannot praise a man's elite traits in March and then dismiss his readiness in October just because the team around him is crumbling. That is not evaluation. That is agenda setting. That is shaping the story so you can defend the status quo. What makes it worse is this. Cabot knows exactly what she's doing. She's been around Cleveland long enough to understand how her words echo through the fan base and the front office. When she says Shedeur would not fare better, it gives a scared staff one more excuse to wait. It reinforces a false comfort. It keeps the same plan in place even when the result is embarrassing. The fans are not blind. They see what is happening. They watch the same games. They see the offense stall again and again. They see the defense crumble late because it's always on the field. They see the sideline frustration build each week. And they see one of the most talented young quarterbacks in the league held hostage by politics and perception. Shedeur's story has always been about fighting narratives. At Colorado, they said he was only successful because of his last name. Then he shattered records and outperformed expectations in every measurable way. Now in Cleveland, they whisper the same thing. They say the conversation exists because of fame, not skill. But anyone who has watched him throw knows better. This is not celebrity hype. This is football reality. Mary Kay's latest piece tries to paint Shedeur as another untested rookie. But if you look at the film and you compare mechanics and decision-making and results, it's not close. Dillon plays small. He is tentative. His reads are late. His confidence wavers under pressure. Shedeur plays big. He trusts his arm. He anticipates windows. He commands the huddle. That is not potential. That is preparation and proof.
So when Cabot says the offense is the issue, she is half right. The offense is broken, but it is broken because it lacks leadership and direction. That is what Shedeur brings. Leadership is not loud speeches. Leadership is execution. It is the right read on 3rd and 7. It is a fast decision in the red zone. It is controlling the tempo and giving the whole sideline belief. The Browns do not have that right now. They could have it if they stopped playing scared. The host of Simply Ball Dropping said it best. You cannot play both sides of the field. You cannot praise the player when it is convenient and then throw him under the bus when things go wrong. That is not journalism. That is opportunism. And it is time people start calling it what it is. Every franchise needs a voice that challenges the system. The Browns need someone fearless enough to shake the building, someone who holds the staff accountable and demands better. Shedeur Sanders can be that spark. This team does not just need a quarterback, it needs an identity. It needs a leader who brings confidence, poise, and precision. Every time Mary Kay Cabot downplays that reality, she is not just critiquing Shedeur, she is holding the entire organization back. Do not forget how fast she flipped. She stood in Boulder as Shedeur threw darts in front of NFL scouts. She raved about his arm strength and his mechanics and his control. Now that the pressure is on Stefanski and Gabriel, she says Shedeur is not ready. That kind of contradiction kills credibility. Fans notice it. Players notice it. The locker room notices it too. If you want to evaluate Shedeur, do it the right way. Give him the reps. Give him the snaps. Let him run the offense. You cannot judge a quarterback from the bench. You cannot know how he will perform without giving him the huddle and the clock and the weight of the game. The great ones prove it when the lights burn hottest. Shedeur has done that at every level so far. This shift in narrative is not just about football. It is about control. It is about who gets to decide which players deserve belief and which players get doubt. For too long, Shedeur has been on the receiving end of selective skepticism. They question his fame. They question everything except his performance. And his numbers and his discipline and his leadership keep silencing critics one by one. If the Browns want to turn this season around, they have to stop protecting feelings and start embracing facts. Dillon Gabriel is not the answer. He is the symptom of a larger problem, a coaching staff stuck in denial and a media narrative that will not challenge it. Shedeur Sanders represents change, and change makes people uncomfortable. But discomfort is where growth lives. Every time the camera finds Shedeur on the sideline, you can see it. The calm, the focus, the readiness. He is not waiting for permission. He is waiting for opportunity. And when that moment finally comes, he will prove every doubter wrong again, including Mary Kay Cabot. In the end, this is not about one article. It is about a pattern where the media lifts you up just to tear you down, where honesty takes a back seat to easy narratives, where truth gets lost between the headlines. Mary Kay Cabot crossed a line when she implied that Shedeur could not succeed in the same broken system that is failing everyone else. Because Shedeur Sanders does not need perfection to shine. He just needs a chance. And when he finally gets that chance, the city of Cleveland will remember who doubted and who believed. They will remember who stood on both sides and who stood for the truth. They will remember who wanted to keep them stuck and who wanted to get them moving.
So the question is not whether Shedeur can fare better. The question is how long the Browns can keep ignoring the obvious. Because the truth always finds its way through the noise, and Shedeur Sanders is about to make sure everyone hears it loud and clear.